Hey everybody, and welcome to our podcast show. And on this podcast show, we have Andy from MSI. Yes, Andy works for MSI, and I think MSI is the first time on our podcast. And I wish to have a great conversation with Andy because he's got a lot of stories to tell, including all the new stuff at Computex, as well as some of his interests. And let's start with Andy. Andy, tell us all about you and what is MSI anyway?
I think I would start from MSI. I think lots of people may be curious about what's this brand all about, right? I mean, if you play games, maybe MSI. It's a brand that with the weird white dragon with red badge on that. But I think for a lot of people, MSI maybe it's an unknown company. Actually, this is a company that focused on gaming for a long time. You know. Actually, we starting from 2008, I think. Yeah. Actually, we have invested a lot in the gaming community, not just providing the gaming hardware, but also sponsor a series of gaming team out there. Yeah. And after that, we try to make ourselves bigger. Yeah. So that's the reason why we have a series of new product like those mainstream laptop that you can easily find in those Best Buy, eBay, or Memory Express. And of course, we have the new things, which you see right here, the gaming handheld. That's something maybe in the memories of our guys when we were young, right?
Wait, how did you know Memory Express?
Because in the former company, I used to help the Canada sales to do the training to the
Canada
retail in Canada.
Thank you.
Memory Express and also the Canada computer.
Yes.
Canada computers. Yep.
Canadians, yeah. It's not just about what's that?
Best Buy.
It's the other company, Micro Center. If you say Micro Center,
I don't
it's not
I don't
in
know
the
what
States
that is.
though. Micro Center.
Micro Center is a US.
Is that from US?
Yes, US.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah. So thank you very much for mentioning Canadian retailers.
Yeah.
They're very important to the fabric of our nation.
No, I mean I like Memory Express. It's
do they
only
do memories? Do they only do memory, or they sell a whole range of stuff?
It's like Scan.
Yeah,
okay. Scan computers in the UK.
They sell everything.
Sell everything.
They sell everything. PC hardware, gaming hardware, the paradise for the nerd.
Okay, cool.
Maybe not pots and pans. They haven't gone there yet. they sell some really weird stuff, like vacuums occasionally.
Right. But MSI stands for, as a longer name for the company, right?
Actually, it's starting from the MicroStar International. And honestly say, I got no idea about why I have this name.
I do have an idea because I remember years ago, back in like 25 years ago now, there was a not Dell PC. I think it was a Dell PC. I think it was. We opened it up and inside there was a motherboard in there. It was a green motherboard, the stuff that's inside the PC, right? And it had a name, but it wasn't MicroStar. It was MS.
Oh, really?
Right. So I looked it up online and thought, it turns out to be an MSI motherboard. So you guys do a lot of boards for a lot of other brand manufacturers and brands out there as well, right? Yeah. Yes. So that's something that you might want to check out. But also a lot of the youngsters in gaming, and this is the first time I've seen it because laptops used to be just business laptop, boring, right? And then suddenly I went to a LAN party and I saw this kid with the MSI laptop. And I thought, oh, wow, you can do that on gaming with that? And I looked closely, it had like RGB on it. Whoa, what's going on there? And then it was that little co-brand collaboration Steel series. So not only do you attract the younger generation with the gaming and the laptops, that's something that's you invested also the gaming teams as well, right?
Yeah. There's something. There's a story behind that. At first, it's really MSI to try to integrate gaming into the laptop.
Right.
But at that moment, I think it should be 2009 something.
Yeah, 2009.
No sales channel. I mean, those retail channel, they don't believe that. They say, come on, who's going to play the games with the laptop? It doesn't make sense. Game can only play by desktop, something like that. Yeah. But I think one day they surprisingly found that actually their customer, when they walk into the store, they have the need to find a laptop. They can do everything on it.
Yes.
Including those typical Office suite, something even heavy load like Adobe Suite or even gaming.
Yeah.
And they surprisingly found that, hey, on their ship, there's nothing like that. And then something came to their mind, say, hey, is there a brand called MS what? They have the gaming laptop, right? I mean, maybe we can try. and then we
I think that was the time when the college student, because they from the teens they play games, and now they gotta go to college and they want to do Office, they need to do Excel and all that kind of stuff, right? And then, why do I need a gaming desktop when I need to carry that around to lectures and everything? It's all in one kind of thing, right?
Yeah. So I would say at first we do something really extreme to let everybody know that hey, there's actually a product called gamer laptop, like that. We have the overclocking contest for laptop.
Yeah. Ooh,
it's really
for
crazy.
laptops.
Yeah, for laptop.
I didn't know that.
It's super crazy. It looks really weird. This whole screen where it looks like that somebody just taken the bottom cover of a laptop and have some liquid nitrogen put on that.
You just pull it. Oh wow. Okay. Okay. I understand now.
Really
crazy.
I would say hilarious. Yeah, and also have sponsor those esports team to have them to play the games with the laptop. So people suddenly know that hey, there's a product called gaming laptop, and that's the thing they can go for. If they just want one laptop that can do everything.
But it's not just about gaming, like you were saying, is that this is powerful hardware in a very small space. And because not everyone games all the time, sometimes we have to get some work done, this is probably a really great concept, a gaming laptop concept for creators as well too. Because you've got support for an NVIDIA graphics card, which runs CUDA, which is actually supported, accelerated by the entire Adobe Creative Suite, and lots of other CAD and CAM and rendering software actually supports it as well too. And then it's just, and most importantly, because it's not built as a enterprise or business laptop, it's a lot less expensive.
Yeah, of course, for some of the gaming laptop, they will be designed look as gaming, really muscle, really RGB.
Yeah.
But for some of the people in the market, I would say maybe a lot, like creators, actually they don't care about that. They just care about performance.
Performance,
Yeah, if the performance of that thing can fulfill their need.
And I tell you what, though, there's probably people don't know out there. You got slim laptops, you got gaming laptops, but they also do something called a desktop replacement. Don't you, right?
Yes. It's a really interesting idea because, we have something just like you said, like our Titan is a desktop replacement. It's super heavy. Even I think it's heavy, maybe over 6 or 7 pounds.
Really?
And, have the thickness maybe over 3 centimeters, something like that. But we surprisingly see actually there's a group of people will have constant kind of need for this kind of product. And there's one time I feel when the first time I joined MSI, I feel really interested about it. So who will buy this kind of thing? And maybe it costs something like over $5,000. There's a slogan that another laptop media gave us is that hey, maybe you can choose a car or Titan. That's the conclusion for the review. So I just make a survey to who will buy this kind of laptop, and I surprisingly that the persona of this group are really, really similar. They just want to something that is actual movable.
Right.
I think all of you have seen a kind of joking short video talking about maybe somebody bring their desktop to the Starbucks. And also the huge monitor, right?
Usually it's a Mac user with the iMac.
Yes. So they just want something that is, physically removable, but featuring exactly the same performance as the desktop. And the reason behind that are quite various, but I think the most common reason I see is that they don't have enough space in their place.
Or like desk space.
Yeah, desk space.
Right.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
And they just want the best performance, period, without any cost.
With those laptops, everything's upgradable, right? The RAM, the SSD, and all that.
Yes.
Everything is like, it's a massive unit, but then also it runs. A lot of people don't use just a battery. They run it off the mains, right? So that's like a long-term thing. Just plug it in and just leave it. Mains power. So
something really classic is that one of the user of our Titan, he tells me that I just want a computer, a laptop with UPS. That means UPS means that something that will try to constantly provide power even when the power being cut down by the government or something else. They said that hey, it's something that when I move it, it will keep running.
But the UPS are expensive, right?
Yeah.
But a laptop has a built-in UPS. It's called a battery.
Yeah. So they don't care about if it can only last about an hour or even less.
Yeah.
They just care about if it will out of function when he move it from his room to the maybe a
different room.
Yeah. Something like that.
Well,
there you go.
Interesting. Yeah.
so there's a thing, and I think it's kind of funny, is that laptops are getting thinner. Even desktop replacement laptops are getting to a better sizes, so that you don't have to be so strong in the gym to be able to pick it up, because those things are quite beefy. The power brick is actually it's heavier than the laptop. And
the power.
My question to you as a product manager for more portable products is whether or not MSI sees the opportunity to actually shrink that one piece of equipment that makes it nearly impossible for you to have a normal laptop bag. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that GAN technology is extremely it's extremely versatile. It can build things that have smaller footprints, better efficiency. And I myself actually purchased an aftermarket GAN charger just for my laptop, just to have it. And it is literally 1/3 the size of the brick that I have.
Yeah.
So there is an aftermarket for that, but is there an appetite for MSI and other players to actually start to slim those devices down so that it can match the slim footprint of a laptop?
Yeah, I think you got one key word, which is the GAN charger. Yeah, I would say that's the rock star of the adapter and also the charger market.
Yeah.
But to be honest, as a one guy in the industry, I would say it's all about cost.
Yeah.
I mean, the cost of a GAN charger is almost 2 times, even 3 times as those typical adapters you see.
Yeah.
But actually, we see the popularity of those portable adapter. Just taking a look at all those unboxing or review video. Now they would like to spend a little time talking about adapter bundle, because they know that some of the audience actually care about that.
So GAN chargers, what's the maximum power delivery on that?
Mine is the brand that I bought from. God, I can't remember the name right now, but they are one of the few that do an aftermarket charger. They were initially a Kickstarter, but Slim something.
SlimTech.
Yeah, they have one that goes up to 330 watts.
330 GAN charger? Really?
The one that I have is 230.
230.
230. So that's what I'm asking. What's the maximum kind of wattage or power you can deliver? Because if you have a gaming laptop, that uses a lot of power, right?
Is that enough?
So is that enough?
I would say if it's 230, like you said, I think it should be enough for those mid to high segment, like the laptop with RTX 4060 or 4070 graphics.
That's what you got. An RTX.
I have a 36 Ti, RTX 36
should be enough.
Ti.
Should be enough.
And it's a Core i7. It's got a 16-inch OLED screen. It's got dual SSDs. It is it's a workstation creator. It's built for creators, basically, right? So it's been very happy with that charger. The power is super stable. It's very stable. It's very happy pulling the power away.
And does it get hot or warm?
It gets warm, but not as hot as the old one.
Yeah, not that hot.
Okay, so the older one gets hotter.
Oh yeah, and it's also 3 times the size. So now I can actually have a normal life.
And like Andy said, it's because of the cost that you couldn't maybe developing.
Yes, but even so, we still try to shrink the size of a typical adapter to something that is relatively portable, like the desktop replacement you just mentioned. We have really something crazy for it. It's 400-watt adapter.
Okay.
Basically, you can just regard it as the power supply that you install in the desktop, right?
Yeah.
But it is a desktop power supply. It's about this big, isn't it? It's got to be this big.
Yeah. But I mean, we try to shrink it even smaller than its former one can only provide 330 watts.
In fact, I think I've seen a model of your desktop replacement, and it had 2 power supply units.
Wait, what?
I know that story. Actually, that's become that belongs to one of our kind of, I would say, partner.
Yeah, isn't it one power to power the graphics card and the other power to power the rest of the system, right? Or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. Because at the time they had the GeForce RTX. I can't remember which model, 30, 90, or 80, and it was in the the laptop. I think, wow.
Yeah.
You have to do all that power to power it up.
And you know what? It even got a small dashboard telling you that what's the voltage right now, what's the amp right now. It's super nerd. I mean, yeah. But 780 watts from that kind of adapter, just crazy.
That's crazy.
But they also claim that it's built exclusively for the Titan, which is our desktop replacement. Yeah.
So with Computex, what's been the most popular thing? Isn't it the Claw?
Yeah.
From what I can tell, because I'm not into that yet. So handheld portable gaming solution.
Yes.
Okay, competes with your other competitors.
There's more and more.
I'm not going to say it. It's going to ROG Ally, Steam Deck. So similar kind of in that bracket. Okay.
Yeah.
But tell us more. Why did MSI come up with it? What makes it special compared to others? And yeah, I mean.
Okay, so I would say why MSI Claw is special. As just like you said, there's a lot of players right there, right? Like Steam Deck, like LIX, all of them are great. But I would say our Claw is the most balanced one. Because we try to focus more on those things that users will actually use.
Okay.
Like we highlight the ergonomics.
Ergonomics, that's important because you're holding it in the hand for hours, right?
Yeah. We highlight ergonomics. You know something when the our ID team, design team tell us, I thought, what are they talking about? They said, when we design these things, we utilize the study called anthropometry.
Oh.
Do you know how to spell it?
I have no idea.
You're gonna have to explain it and spell it.
Anthropometry means that there's a group of person in this globe.
Right.
They will do the research to those dimensions of the human body parts, like the width of your palm.
Oh.
Like the dimension of your hand.
Oh, is it like when guys buy jeans, they actually just use this? Yeah, this is the size of your waist. You put it in your pants.
There's a small group of people doing this kind of study. So it will always tell you, hey, the average width of the man's palm is blah blah blah, and average width of the palm of the female is blah blah blah, something like that.
Yeah, I remember it's similar to making a mouse MD whatever dexterous. Multi-dexterous.
Multi-dexterous.
Yes, like left and right. You can either hold it in either hand.
Yeah.
So you come up with that kind of design for the Claw.
Yeah.
And I noticed because it's such a compact device, power is the main thing, right?
Yeah. All right, you got a point. Yeah, I know.
Okay, we're coming back to the really big power supply.
Okay, what happened?
Come on, it's portable. Gaming handheld, so nobody gonna bring a 780 watt power charger.
I hope not. That would change some people's lives.
Yeah, I know you got a point. I mean, yes, there are some buts or discussion about the performance of the Claw, and I gotta say, yes, at the first we have a bumpy start.
Okay.
Because as you know, it's the only handheld using the Intel solution.
Right.
So-called Meteor Lake Core Ultra, or if you want me to make it even more comprehensive, AI PC, right? It's where this processor starts. And yes, under a certain wattage, the performance is really not that great. So actually,
I would say it's not MSI's fault. It would be Intel's fault. Wouldn't it be?
Hey, he can't say that.
Oh, okay. I know. But
you're right.
But for us as an end user, I would say it is because we know Intel chips can run hot anyway, especially the 13th, 14th gen. I know because I build PCs all the damn time. But having it shrink into a small package like that, it's gonna run hot, full stop. So yeah. What's kind of like the solution? What do you find out?
I would say it's also a lesson learned for them. I don't know if you remember when they first launched the Meteor Lake laptop. Actually, the review result is not that bad. I mean, everybody's impressed about how power efficient it is and amazing integrated graphic performance. But you know what? For laptop, it's something that will always drive the chip with higher wattage, more power.
Yeah.
But since they kind of ignore that on a gaming handheld, the power delivery will be limited, hugely limited, maybe something to like 15 or 20. So I think that's the main reason why the our Claw at first performs not that well, but thanks to them and also us, they, what? Let me share your story. For their graphics card, they don't update their driver that often in the past. Maybe maybe they will update maybe about 3 weeks or even 1 month. But for Claw, they update it basically every 2 weeks or even every weeks. So actually they had released 6 different versions of the GPU driver in just 2 months.
And is that just to follow the cycle of releases of new games?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and actually, I can tell you that all of this update was exclusive to the Claw. Even though on the release note you say that hey, we optimize it because for certain GAN, for certain Core Ultra, but I would say you can just read all those words as built for Claw.
Right, I get you. So it's fully optimized for that handheld.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whereas like, if you look at NVIDIA's drivers, they're like, do you know how big those NVIDIA drivers are?
They're huge. I just
like,
downloaded one today.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
700 megabytes. And it's just, but yeah, it's updates now, right?
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Okay. So Claw aside, it's the in thing now. Everybody's making them. I saw another competitor today making something similar. Who knows? It could be a trend. The other big topic is AI. I know everybody's into it. I know
everybody is jumping.
Yeah. Well, what's your take on it? I mean, you don't have to tell me what MSI is doing, but what's your take on AI?
That's a really big topic. That's the question I have been most frequently asked in the context until now.
What do you think of it?
I would say it's hype.
It's hype.
But I will say it's something that will make people exciting. Yeah, I mean, yes,
Do you think it'd be beneficial to creators more than others? Creators, digital art and stuff like that.
That's just a part of that.
Just part
of that. I mean,
okay.
Since last year, Intel launched their new processor and they gave it the name, the new AI PC things.
AI PC, yeah.
AI PC things. Everybody just crazy about that. But if you check those real things that an AI PC can do, at least for now, it doesn't have huge difference between it and a typical PC.
Like current PCs can do what these so-called new AI PCs can do, right? Okay,
The only biggest difference in terms of hardware will be the NPU, neural processing unit. I think you will see this term more and more often because basically said by the time of 2025 or 2026, every piece of the processor that has been launched by no matter Intel, AMD, or Qualcomm will have built-in NPU.
You know what's funny? During the Apple iPad Pro M4 event, they actually stated specifically that we've been doing NPU in our Apple Silicon for years. Yeah,
it's true.
So that's a true thing. And we're hearing rumblings that when they do the WWDC event, that they're finally going to
should be soon, right?
It's coming. It's already announced. They've got the artwork and everything. It's going to be about AI.
Finally.
Really?
Yeah. I thought they reinvented AI,
Oh, they
reinvented everything. Come on.
They reinvented everything. They reinvented the NPU, I'm sure.
But, something I heard from the industry is that, in the WWDC, maybe they will announce the Siri, which is our old friend, but with the new GPT model inside.
Oh, a smarter Siri. Not as dumb.
Oh, Siri's not smart without this. Yeah,
Siri is. I would say, I have sort of a tagline about the Siri. They say it's boring, but it's good.
But she can't even do timers properly.
I prefer. In fact, I prefer Alexa than Siri.
Same. I prefer the A assistant. The G assistant is...
I hope that didn't turn on your systems. And
the A assistant is better.
Lights and everything. Hey, Alexa.
I talk to her much more often than the G assistant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be scary if they added Chat GPT and AI into Alexa.
Oh, but you
That'll
can't
be
say
awesome.
that because you just set off everyone's thing. So that's why I call it the A assistant.
That would be awesome. I mean,
Yeah, blame him, not me.
yeah. So NPU matters, and that's how the AI PC comes. And I would say, yeah, even Intel, AMD, or Qualcomm, or Microsoft that knows that we cannot just have the hardware, right? Because that's nothing the user can truly be benefited. So they claim, they push those ISV, independent software vendor like Adobe, like Microsoft, like, all those huge software guy to utilize the resource of NPU. Something like, hey, we have NPU, there's a hardware resource, you need to use it, okay? Come on, we need to promote AI PC. So I think that's how it become a huge wording right now, at least in the Computex. Yeah.
So everyone that we've spoken to so far is like, I'm trying to find a use for AI in my daily life that will actually make life better. And I think you're struggling with that too. We're struggling with that too. And until and even if we use it in art and help us, at some point, like, is it really that useful? Are people being hyped too much? I mean, I know the show is about AI, so we do have to discuss it a little bit.
Yeah, I think you got a point. Is like the new CoPilot function that is announced by
CoPilot
Plus PC, which is a terrible name, by the way.
It's terrible.
What is that about? Because I have no
terrible.
clue. I know CoPilot is like a thingy that they add on Microsoft. What's Plus
CoPilot
PC?
is the AI. AI
Explain-
plus
could you-
PC.
Yeah,
Maybe
CoPilot
explain a
is
little bit more?
Microsoft's own like ChatGPT.
Microsoft's own. Okay.
They call it CoPilot.
And they put it into the PC.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Now I get it.
Yeah.
I really talking about CoPilot. I really want to bring something that maybe I shouldn't say today.
I'd like to know more, please.
Before Computex, Microsoft told us that, hey, actually we could work with the Qualcomm to deliver the so-called CoPilot Plus PC in their Microsoft Build launch event, which is on May 20th, I think, before Computex.
Yes.
And they said that, hey, before Computex, you cannot claim that the new processor from Intel, which is Lunar Lake, and also the one from AMD, which is Strix is CoPilot Plus PC. They didn't allow us to say that, but they didn't tell us why. And as an OEM, as their partner, we can say, oh, okay, I will just follow your guide. But you know what? This Monday, which is 6/2, the second,
Yeah.
when Lisa Su, the CEO of the AMD, I think everyone knows that.
Yes.
When she jumped on the stage of the Computex, she said that, hey, our new Strix processor is the first x86 processor that is and fully support CoPilot Plus PC.
There you go. She's already said it, so it's
And
fine.
we was shocked. We all stayed in a single meeting room and watching the stream of that because it's too crowded right here. So we choose to watch the stream. I said, what? Seriously? Are you joking? And she even invited a person from the Microsoft.
Yeah.
It was just a VP, right? I mean, I don't know, maybe something administrative level to the stage and said, hey, AMD is our best ally and we are glad to provide the first x86 CoPilot Plus PC.
Okay.
And everybody, what the F? Yeah.
So they said something and then they turned around and did something else.
Yeah. Yeah. So after that, then Microsoft told us, all right, you can claim that you are CoPilot Plus PC.
But I'm interested in it's been adverts plastered all over Computex. It's the Qualcomm chip, which is not x86, right?
Snap. It's
But
ARM.
that's CoPilot as well.
It's CoPilot. Actually, it's the only legal CoPilot Plus PC right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
the Snapdragon
And-
X Elite. Yeah, it's a
Okay,
band
and are you guys gonna be on top of that, or are you gonna skip it?
We do have talk with the Qualcomm, but I will say we will maybe we will try to postpone it a little bit.
See how the market is, right?
Yeah. Maybe we'll see. I mean, the available date of those CoPilot Plus PC with Qualcomm CPU will be around June 18th.
Yes, that's right.
It should be 2 weeks
That's
later.
on the adverts. Yeah.
So we'll see. But
I think with that is you're probably thinking, what's the difference about this and a normal PC? But apparently, according to Stephen, you said better battery life. You said, right?
Oh, significantly so. It's up to 22 hours.
And,
did you really see by yourself?
but that's like the ARM.
I'm just going by the wattage. It tells a lot.
What other benefits do you think will come out of it though?
Well,
on top?
recall, now that we know, recall works with pretty much anything. So that's not a benefit, right?
I think we can view the Qualcomm, the new processor from Qualcomm, from two different ways. One is the hardware, another one is the application. So for the hardware, I think it looks impressive, at least from what Qualcomm claim.
Yes.
Super great performance, even outperform the most powerful desktop processor right now, which is 4900 KS.
Yes.
With just 1/10 of the watt,
Really?
something like that.
Yes.
And it can, of course, it has lower wattage. Then in the meanwhile, it can provide super long battery life.
So it's going to be a pretty much industry changer then.
Yes, but for hardware, it looks, even though on hardware side, it looks so impressive, but on the application side, I would say we have big question mark on that. So just remember, try to remind you that when the Apple first they skip the Intel processor to the M1, should be around 2019?
Yeah, you're around there.
somewhere
Yeah.
there.
2019, right?
The first M's.
They also announced something called Rosetta 2.
Yes.
Which kind of, you can just regard it as the translator to translate the language that typical PC use into ARM-based things, right?
Yeah, like an emulator. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because now we have Prism.
Yeah, we have percent. And guess what? Even the guy like Apple who fully control their software and hardware, they even need to spend over 2 years on optimizing those application things into an ARM executable things. So if you look back at the Microsoft and Qualcomm, for me, I will put a huge question mark on that.
Right. So don't buy Gen 1. Buy Gen 2 or 3. Like a couple of years later, right?
It's not Microsoft's first rodeo with ARM.
No.
Windows RT came out with Windows Surface Pro, the first edition, around 2005.
I think I don't need to input more about how disastrous it is. I mean,
and more recently, the Surface Pro X is this beautiful piece of hardware, but it has no support anymore because it's going to be deprecated soon. So that was second hit at Surface Pro X. However, we do know that the team behind the Qualcomm Snapdragon Series X, it sounds like Xbox, X Elite, they were actually ex-engineers of the Apple Silicon team through Nuvia. They were purchased by Snapdragon.
Oh, really?
They were pulled straight from that division because they just spun off those people to kind of work on stuff adjacent to M1 Silicon.
Okay.
And then they pulled those people in. So based on the benchmark so far, this is their first generation of the Snapdragon is equivalent to the M3.
Okay.
Which means that the next jump will be
a huge jump.
We'll jump over M4, which was announced with the M4 iPad Pro.
Okay.
iPad Pro.
Right? Yeah. So that means that even now, a Snapdragon could outperform a Mac Pro, which you paid a lot of money for. That has an overclocked mobile chip. Right? So it's getting interesting, but you're right. That translation layer to work seamlessly to address the calls between x86 and Prism. Those are a lot of question marks. And even Adobe is holding back on, never buy hardware based on the promise of software updates.
True.
Okay?
True.
So they're promising that Adobe will work, just like Apple promised that Adobe and stuff will work. Now, whoever executes it best is going to win because everyone's familiar with Windows operating system, right? Most majority of people are. So the war for the creator is on, right? Let's see what happens.
Yeah, because nothing runs better than a native app. And if your native app is optimized, coded for that particular chip, it runs perfectly. But if it's going through an emulator or Prism, whatever, it's always going to be that
there's going to be
issue.
some sort of glitch, and this is what I'm curious about, because Microsoft, this technically speaking, it's not the first time with ARM, like we mentioned, RT, Pro X. Hopefully third time's a charm.
Find out.
Well, but I would say this time they're real. They're serious about it. Well, let me just give you a little story behind that. Why the CoPilot Plus PC with the typical x86 processor will be a little bit later is that actually now Microsoft has all moved their resource helping to fine-tune those applications run by the ARM processor. So that means they don't have bandwidth right now for those typical x86 things.
So you put all like the effort into the ARM, so therefore the X6 is
I don't know the reason behind it. Maybe they're just being shocked by how powerful and efficient the Snapdragon
ARM has always been.
I
mean, if you look at all of Nvidia's, production and TSMC and all, it's all ARM based.
I think they're inspired by the Apple. Right. Microsoft always viewed themselves as the true competitor of the Apple, and I think everybody see that how successful the M silicon is.
It's always been that competition, isn't it? Since Steve Jobs and Bill Gates.
And I don't think Microsoft want to, do something really aggressive like Apple, for example, like developing its own chip. So you just count down the Qualcomm, and try to push it more and push themselves more.
And we already know that Microsoft is already shutting down the upgrade path for older hardware, right? They started doing that because they don't have the resources to support all of that, right? So the fact that no PC without a TPM 2.0, like all the stuff that people went about, I mean, there's hacks out there, obviously, to get into Windows 11, but I think that's the end of the line. Like truly is for all the old hardware. And the question is, what do we do with all the old hardware? Right? That's a problem too.
That's a problem.
So Microsoft shifting to ARM, keep forgetting about x86, including the last generation of hardware. That's gonna be a lot of people very upset.
But I will say the biggest spotlight, which is the biggest advantage of the Qualcomm right now, which is power efficiency, won't last that long. According to Intel, what Intel told us about the Lunar Lake, their new processor, they're going to launch around the third quarter of this year. They claim that it will be the most power efficient x86 processor ever. That's a bold claim. And I do see some kind of preliminary comparison from them, which is the press deck. I don't know if you have got that. They even compared the efficiency of the Lunar Lake processor to the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. Which is the one you see on the smartphone, not a PC.
Smartphones,
not a PC. So for me, I think it implies that maybe we can expect something really extraordinary on PC, not just 8 hours battery life, 12 hours battery life, but something like smartphone, multi-day battery life.
Okay, so we can technically read that two different ways. Andy, like it's as efficient as a smartphone, but it's also as weak as a smartphone, right?
Well, don't worry. They also providing those performance benchmark. They even tell me how great it is compared to competitors. But they say it's faster than 8840U, which is from AMD.
Yes,
it's a CPU, it's a PC processor, and also faster than Snapdragon X.
Did they say X 3 times, X 4 times?
No, they just say faster. They just say faster. So it's really weird. I mean, usually they will write something like 1.4x, 1.5x,
like Apple, 3x,
or
2x,
or 20%, 30%. But they just say faster. Period.
Okay.
But
interesting.
I even reviewed the disclaimer on the bottom of the slide, but there's nothing I can guess. So
they've chosen the X Elite because it's more of an apples to apples, more of a fair comparison because they're working across devices that chips that support x86, with the exception of the Apple chip that they chose.
No, they didn't include the Apple chip inside.
And because we know that the Snapdragon X Elite is equivalent to the M3, not the Pro, I think it's just the regular one.
Not Pro.
Then those are fighting words.
Yeah.
They really are.
We will have to wait and see.
Yeah, we really need to wait and see. Intel this time, I don't want to make some joke with them. In the past, they're not really good at those keeping secret things.
What do you mean,
So
like,
usually
always
before they
leaks?
launch the new product, there's a bunch of rumor out there.
Leak.
Yeah, there's a leak. Yeah. But this time, they make it real.
Okay.
Just like you see in our booth, right? All of our Lunar Lake system has been protected by a huge glass.
Can we go and check them out?
Oh, yeah,
later?
sure, why not?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah, why not? What?
Give us a guided tour and
Yeah, we'll do that later.
Yeah, sure, no problems. And you know what? Yesterday they're really angry about us.
Oh, really?
The reason is just because we have a video loop on our new Claw with the Lunar Lake processor. They say that, hey, I told you cannot do the live demo on there. How can you do that? You can just put it. Only thing you can do is just put it static. Well, they say, okay. They just remove the video loop.
Okay.
They just want to put it still. Power on.
Still image.
Yeah.
That's gonna create burn-in on your screen.
I don't know.
Dumb.
So I would say, this time they're really serious about that. And there's one story, a little story I can share with you is that when I'm the person who write the official press release this year for the Computex for MSI notebook, and when I claim that, I have sent a kind of paragraph talking about performance of the Claw, the new Claw.
Yeah.
I would say, maybe by the time it hit the market, it might be the most powerful handheld. It's just a marketing words, Usually in press release, we have a lot of marketing words.
Yeah.
But they reject it. They said, hey, we try to avoid something most powerful, this kind of aggressive wording on the Lunar Lake. We try to focus on its power efficiency.
Apple does it all the time. It's the most pro. It's the most powerful.
But this time they are more humble on that.
Oh, okay.
But they said we would like you to focus more on efficiency.
Power efficiency.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that could be read either two ways to manage expectations. It's gonna have great battery life. It's just gonna suck at performance.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Maybe I would use the word acceptable.
Okay, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. It does the things okay. That's fine. It's fine, right?
It's fine.
Excellent. So with all that, I think your brain's completely Computex is too much, right? So let's focus on it a little. Oh, you want anything?
I wanted to get back to you because I wanted to fill in the gap on which company was actually producing GAN chargers that were slim. So anyone out there with an MSI laptop that needs to slim down, that's everyone. The company's called SlimQ. We'll put Winston will put that in the notes underneath. But they do a 330 watt.
330 watts.
Okay.
I have this one.
Okay.
The 240 watt.
Wait, how much?
It's $151 Canadian
Oh, that's not too bad.
as an upgrade.
Okay.
Okay. It has USB-C ports on it, so you can actually power things off of it with any excess power. This runs my Creator laptop, no problem. To give you an idea of what the size is, it's actually about the size of a phone.
Ooh.
Right? It's just a little bit thicker. Right?
That size, that's this kind of size?
Yeah, about that kind of size, but just maybe a little bit thicker. The laptop, you know how big they are. They're like literally.
There's a power bank here right there.
That's a power bank, but the laptop power brick for most high performance laptops are about this big, and they weigh about 10 pounds. Is that accurate?
Yes,
That's accurate, right?
Yeah.
Actually, I weighed one. Wasn't it 19 pounds one time? Almost 19 pounds.
90. Really? That?
Yeah, it was really heavy.
Yeah.
But I put it on a scale. I couldn't believe it. It was just really, really heavy.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm exaggerating.
Yeah.
So they're at least 10 pounds, right? So this little GAN charger is like no more than a few hundred grams. So I mean that's a big difference. That's on your back. And on the fashionability of the laptop bags that you can actually use.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense. And I think that also giving the consumer a choice to actually get the slim one or get the fat one is an option maybe for MSI.
Like a separate accessory you can buy, upgrade option.
One of your competitors with the L name, they actually do offer that for their series of gaming laptops. They have a high-end 240 watt GAN one, and then they have the regular
little
one.
one. Yeah.
So opportunity.
Yeah, I would say it's a huge opportunity.
Okay.
Yeah, we could definitely do that.
Yeah, I think that's great because again, once you see it, it's like, ooh, maybe I want the smaller one.
Yeah, I think you got a point because the popularity of the Type C charging on laptop is getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And for those people who will just bring the laptop for typical documentation work, they really don't have the need to bring those bricks.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was going to bring mine
Bricks.
today, but
Bricks.
I just left it at the hotel.
Yeah,
It's just too
yeah.
big to carry.
Yeah.
So you would actually create the opportunity for people to bring their MSIs everywhere.
Yeah.
As a result of that, better branding.
Yeah.
More exposure.
Yeah, but I would say we're on the right track for that. We have a dedicated R&D team inside trying to study, is there any way we can make the adapter or the charger even more powerful, but somehow in more compact size?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
I think our Titan, the 400-watt adapter we have, is actually the first outcome of that team. So yeah, I think we're on the right track for that.
Good. Well, the technology is there, but just you're right. People pay like an extra $70 or $80 on top of the charge just for something smaller.
Yeah.
I think you might be surprised. I'm one of them. I did it. I had to.
Oh yeah.
I had to.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm waiting for the price to drop a little bit more before I go for one.
Hey, it's pretty affordable.
Does it plug straight to the wall?
Yeah.
too? Without the extra cable?
Yep. It doesn't have any of the deficits of what you have.
So similar to this then, just like plug it straight
The
in.
wall-mounted charger.
Yep.
Okay.
It's like a power bank then.
That's cool.
Yeah. So it just goes straight to the wall, and it has 2 USB-Cs on it. So any excess.
I've seen similar ones. They're basically like I said, the GAN chargers, but double as a power bank. Mm-hmm. But the wattage isn't that great. It's like 100 watts max. So just
All right.
you know.
Well, we know what you think of AI.
Yeah.
It's developing.
Yeah.
We know that MSI has some really great ideas for laptops, especially with you on board, Angie.
You mean AI or?
With the laptops and some of your direction and what you want to do with
You can have AI laptops, right?
Well, I mean, yes. As you can see, everybody put the focus on the hardware thing.
Yeah.
AI.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as you know, that's everybody can in the industry can have, right? Including ASUS, Acer, something even bigger than us. So actually, from last year, we try to proceed with different ways. As you can see, from last year, we have a series of our own AI-driven software built in our laptop, like those text-to-image services things, or the noise cancellation things, or something called MSI Engine that will automatically optimize laptop setting based on the apps you're running.
Yeah, so you're using AI to do that, right? So it optimizes the performance of your laptop. If you're idling, it knows it's idling, so it just drops everything down and things like that, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
And some people may ask, hey, these AI software are not driven by the NPU, but I would say at least they are powered by the CPU and GPU, and it's fully AI driven, and it can bring the true benefit for you. And of course, both Intel and AMD had provided us the SDK, something like that, to I won't say force, but have us to utilize the resource of NPU in the future more.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think
things were good.
the software is very important because I've discovered in the past, even with my current laptop, is that once I uninstalled all of that stuff, it actually ran a lot more efficiently. So hopefully you've done it right, because I had just a terrible experience with the software from a certain brand. I don't really. They're aware that there is an issue, but since they made the pivot from hardware to a software company, maybe that will change.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a software.
Yeah, I think you got a point, because if you take a look at all those software available on those laptops, I would say 99% of them are not that good.
Not a good experience.
Yeah, not a good experience. So actually, for our software team, they have a kind of central policy, at least for these 5 years, is trying to simplify.
Right.
I mean, I think you just remember a time when you bought a laptop. When you open the laptop, there's a kind of tons of bloatware right there. Antivirus. Yeah, something like that. Please subscribe and we'll offer you some discount, something like that.
Like the AI, what you call it? No, it's not the AI. It's the cloud backup.
Norton, something like that. Yeah, everybody have the same memory to that, right? But we try to simplify things. So I think when you power on an MSI laptop, there are only two things you will see right now. One is the MSI Center, which is the kind of central utility control center for our laptop. Another one is, Norton.
Norton.
You still need something.
No, I have to say we already dropped a contract with them, so in the future you won't see that.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's for laptops.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Well, that's a big improvement, I think.
Yeah. I have one really big question for you. Okay. So, BTF is the is Asus, and then you have something called Project Zero, right?
Project Zero? What's that?
Zero. What?
Even I don't know.
He's the laptop mobile guy. Why are you asking these questions, Uncle Winston? He does not answer these.
I know that. But that belongs to our desktop team. I know.
Yeah.
I really hope I can answer that, but
Okay, it's very simple. It's a very simple question. It's not technical. All those boards, basically the new type of boards, BTF, and also the Project Zero from MSI.
I know.
They use reverse connectors at the back of the motherboards, okay? Which means you need a new case, etc., etc.
Explain what that benefit is to them, because we're talking about BTF.
Tell us more.
I can give you the full story about that.
Okay.
Because when, actually it's Gigabyte come up this idea first. The reason why I know that.
Okay.
Because at that moment, I was in Gigabyte.
Okay.
So I know the whole story about it.
Okay. Tell us more.
From Gigabyte side, they called it Project Stealth.
Yes.
Okay.
Because when
I think you have seen the video that Linus make fun of them, right?
Yes. Go ahead. Yes.
Yeah.
Project Stealth was
Project
Gigabyte's
Stealth.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, Project Stealth.
Okay.
And actually, it was from the idea of an internal player. They thought that, hey, all those pins out there look so ugly. Maybe they can just, put it on the backside of the board. And this idea was supported by their VP, and they started to do it. And actually, soon it's available in the North America, but they are sued by a certain company called Main Gear.
Main Gear.
That's right.
You know why?
Yes.
Because actually Main Gear has registered that patent, putting all those pins on the back side of the board. They have the patent for that.
But that's the thing with patents. Although they registered it, they haven't even got a product.
Yeah,
they do have a product.
But that's
not their board.
They don't need to. They don't need to have the product. Your idea, if it's exclusive, complete enough, you can register it as well.
So
even though you don't have the real
the
product.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how patent works.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, that's how copyright works.
Yeah. And
So it seems that
Tell us more.
They have agreement with the Main Gear.
Who
Says
else?
that Gigabyte had agreement. The Main Gear, they say, hey, Main Gear, we want to sell it. And Main Gear say, hey, maybe there's some business going down on there under the table, but I don't know that. I'm a marketing guy right there. And so it's finally available. But somehow they have their own problem, right? Like the airflow of the chassis is really not that good. So Linus even make a video making fun of them.
Right. Yeah.
And I think in this industry, at least Taiwan, everybody's friend, which means there's no secret. So then Asus know that, we know that, and then I think both of us had reached Main Gear, say, hey, maybe we can have some communication about that. So that's how things goes right now.
Okay.
I think I'm the only one can answer that, because I'm the one who I was in the Gigabyte, and I was also part of that program. Yeah. So
you were part of that program.
Yeah.
All right. So you've got it from the source.
Yeah.
Basically, all this controversy around this feature is just more of an aesthetic look for builders.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Because
the keyword
if anyone's seen the inside of it, pulled off the panel of their PC, you'll see all these cables that go into it from the front of the board, right? Very ugly, right? They're multicolored cables normally in your less expensive systems like your Dells. You pull it off to dust it out, and man, it just looks like not so
spaghetti.
It's spaghetti looking, right? So
ugly.
This
so precise.
Spaghetti. It basically is.
Black spaghetti.
Yeah. Black spaghetti, squid egg spaghetti, right?
Yeah.
So basically all of these cables are now rerouted to the back of the board so that you don't have to look at it. It has some not only aesthetic appeal, but potentially airflow if it's built correctly.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So every PC out there with this aesthetic addition will just look more clean. It just looks more like finished, right? That's what all this controversy is about. For most builders out there, this is going to be more expensive because you're going to need a case, a new motherboard, and potentially maybe new power supplies if they do something different with it.
Power supply, no.
But maybe adapters if it's necessary.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But for graphics card, yes. Yeah.
So it is beneficial for builders that want a clean looking PC, especially if you have glass panels on it. It looks better.
You want to show everything
That's important.
off, right? You want to show everything off.
It always allows you to do the cable management. Yeah.
And it's proven in the industries that people want Windows to show off what they purchased.
Oh, yeah.
Right? For many people out there, maybe not a big deal, but for builders that build their own PCs, definitely a big deal.
Yeah.
You know?
And one of the things that you mentioned, Stephen, was that some of the boards had those reverse connectors, but they were open and bare. They were covered.
Yeah. That was one of the things I pointed out immediately. It's like those pins are exposed on the other side.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
So you need to cover it really.
Something should cover that because I know that because before they were underneath, so no one could mess that up.
Yeah.
But now that they're on the top, some dude's going to touch them with his
finger
or heatsink case is going to dribble.
Yeah.
You know, I see some issues coming up that should be taped down or there should be a
cover, a plate or something. I think the boards do have a cover as well, so it should be fine.
A non-conductive cover, not an aluminum plate.
It's a plastic
not
cover.
A metal plate.
Yeah, it's just a plastic cover. It's gaining a lot of attention because they were shown last year, but nobody really kind of show off whatever. Just something. It's like a the showcase thing.
And case manufacturers are lukewarm on it because they have to build new backplates for every.
That's right. But this year though, it's full on. I see them everywhere now. And Thermaltake is doing the cases. Kuromasa's doing them. Inman mentioned about that. Height's thinking about it. So everybody's on board with this.
Yeah.
So we'll see more.
Maybe it's varying levels. Height's still like, you know what, this is not necessary right now.
Yeah.
But the fact that they have to re-engineer their cases and their backplates are not. They can't. They have to build different SKUs to make it work because Aces and MSI both have two different standards.
Yes.
Right. They're different. So either you put a whole bunch of holes everywhere, which is not good either, or you build a case for that. Or I mean, Inwin has an advantage because Inwin's one of the biggest manufacturers, OEM as well too. They actually have modular cases where that one piece can be changed out.
Okay.
So if you have an Inwin case out with the modular design, that's a possibility for you, but it's hard to buy. Like a Kite Y70, a beautiful case, $349. You're going to replace that just for a motherboard? No, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. It might target it for a kind of niche group of people, but it's a thing, I guess.
You know the philosophy behind those things is that actually the three motherboard manufacturers, ASUS, MSI, Gigabyte, they all want to build their own computer universe.
Their own ecosystem.
So you have a whole ecosystem for that because motherboard is something that really can make huge profit. So they try to develop their own component things. So you will see wider and wider coverage of the component product by MSI, Gigabyte, or ASUS. Those brands was considered as only producing motherboard.
They did that with the Zeus Tough Gaming and then Gigabyte's Aorus, I think. MSI's
MSI is we have the MAG, MEG. I'm sorry, I forgot another M something G. Yeah, they have 3G. Yeah.
Oh, the 3Gs.
Not 3G, not 5G.
5G.
But you're successful in all the laptops anyway, because I think definitely in terms of gaming laptops, MSI is already there, and they have been for a while.
Yeah. Exactly.
But this new system, this new motherboard standard thing, it might take a while for it to take off. And again, it's very niche. I don't think.
I would. It's something like SFF or those, or the whole wide build, something like that. And I think the reason why it's so, even though it's so niche, it will still caught the eyes of the audience is that the outcome is great.
People with money that could buy.
I mean, you just take a look at all those communications from the users sharing their small form factor computer or the full wide build. It's so charming.
It does look nice.
It looks so good.
All white build.
I think that's the reason why it looks so popular.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, but in actual, it's not.
Okay.
It's quite
wow.
niche. Yeah.
Wow, we learned so much today, especially in that story. You can hear it nowhere else.
Exclusively on our podcast show.
Yeah, because
And with
I'm
that
occasionally,
from-
I'm right person that jump in front of Gigabyte to MSI. So yeah.
There you go. So on that note, thank you, Andy.
Yeah,
For a
my pleasure
great
to-
podcast.
my pleasure to be here.
Enjoy
I mean-
your Computex. And don't forget to tune in for our podcast show each and every Wednesday, exclusive only on YouTube.
And make sure that you hit the MSI website. In I think it's msi-usa.com or ms. Like,
www.msi.com. That's
Okay.
all.
It's a-
Yeah.
okay, okay, it's a global
so you got that now.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And that's where you're going to find out about the new Claw, about all the new CoPilot Plus PCs, and
Yes.
all the new specs, and also, of course, all the new motherboards that are coming out with the project.
MSI Project Zero.
Yeah.
To learn a little bit more about that. So, thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Wow.
See you soon.
See you soon.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.